Hey, it's Vasco from Metro Hobbies and welcome to a very special episode. We've got a brand new product here on the bench. This is the Traxxas Ford Bronco. It looks absolutely stunning, so let's have a closer look at it. So as always, we're going to be looking at what comes in the box. First, we've got the radio, a couple of manuals and some tools here, and of course the car, which is fully assembled and ready to go. First thing here is of course the manuals. You do get some tools to be able to work on the vehicle as well. There's some stickers in here that you can decorate the car with if you wish, and a whole bunch of literature and everything else that you can go through and sort of learn a little bit more about this vehicle if you don't know already. You can also jump on the Traxxas website and go through some more technical information in there. They do have additional information that's probably not in the manual sheets here. So we'll move that out of the way and we'll talk about the radio just briefly. This of course is a tried and true Traxxas radio that's been around for many years. Runs on 4AA's, which you will need to get yourself. You've got your high-low gear shift just here, and then you've got your diff locking switch up here as well. You've got your set and menu buttons up the top here, which you'll need to sort of read instructions to see what they do. And then you've got your multifunction button as well as your steering trim up the front. Throttle trigger actually feels quite nice. It's got a nice little foam wheel on here. Very nice little radio. No collapsible antennas to break off or anything like that. Like I said, the only thing you really need to do is get your AA's to get this guy powered up. Right, so now moving on to the main event, which is of course the car itself. And what a stunning looking car this is. Traxxas have definitely outdone themselves with this one. I love the look of this car. I mean, I'm not big on crawlers, but I will admit that the look of this car is absolutely fantastic. They did a lot of really cool things here. You'll notice that there's no body post sticking out of the body as well. We'll cover that off in just a minute. Now, this does have a protective film on top. I'm going to leave that on here for the time being because this is still a product that we will be getting rid of. So I don't want to peel that away just as yet, but you will need to, of course, take that off before you run it. The mirrors do come folded in the box, so they do come like that. You just need to basically just pop them out so the car has the full functional mirrors there. And then, of course, you've got just the spare tire on the back, for example. You got the full fenders on here. There's a brand new bumper that they've included with this particular model as well. There's a plastic grille that's mounted on the front of the car. The whole thing is LED ready, so you can buy an LED kit to fit to this particular vehicle. You've got proper wipers on here as well, so they're just not stickers that are on the actual windscreen. It's an actual plastic wipers. Door handles as well are on here on this vehicle. And you've got all the badging and everything else on the back, which just looks absolutely amazing. Like the detail that they've gone to here is really cool. And one of the things that I don't think, now don't quote me on this, but I don't think that Traxxas have actually done this before, and that's given us a car with clear windows. Normally these TRX4s, they just have stickers on them. I can't recall if there is one that has clear windows, so this may very well be the first. And although they are tinted, you can see through it, which I think is a much nicer scale look than just putting stickers on the outside of the body. So very nice. And you'll notice as well that even the front bumper has this skid underneath here. So when you are climbing over, terrain and rocks and things like that, it's unlikely to sort of get jammed up underneath the bumper there. You've got a nice little skid that kind of leads on to the axle there, so it actually clears all of that very nicely. So how do you get the body off if there are no body pins on here? Traxxas have actually done a really cool thing. I don't know how good this is going to be long term, but I think just taking it out of the box and having a little bit of a play with it, I think it's a fantastic idea. So there are these little I suppose little tabs underneath the body that are kind of lock on to the actual wheel wells the way that it's done. So you've got to put your hand inside the wheel well and just squeeze those tabs together, and the body releases very easily. And then just push it back into those holes, and it locks back into place. Pop that up so you see the front is just come off really easy, and then pull on those tabs and it comes off just like that. So we'll give you a closer look as well so you can see what we're talking about here. But there are the tabs there. There's these rails that run across from side to side on the body. You can see as well that the body is very much reinforced inside. So there's like this internal roll cage to keep the shape of the body and kind of hold everything in place, which is brilliant. Like, it does make it a little bit heavy, but I think it's fantastic. It keeps the integrity of the body intact. And of course, you've got all the provisions there for your LEDs and everything on the front and on the rear. Really, really cool looking body. I think Traxxas has done a really good job with this. I'm really impressed. And I'm not a crawler guy, so this is definitely impressing me. Now, underneath that, you've got very much a familiar looking truck. So you have your 21 turn Titan 550 size motor here. You got your receiver box, which is of course fully waterproof, and you've got everything sort of plugging in there. You've got your diff locking servos just here as well. And then over on the other side, we have, I think this one here in the middle is your two-speed transmission servo. You've got your speed controller just there, of course, and then you've got all the wheel wells and everything else here to protect any dirt and debris sort of getting into the main chassis right through there as you're running through all your rough terrain. You still have your provisions here for your LED lights to go on the wheel wells like you do on the other TRX4s, so they haven't eliminated that. That's very much still there. The main battery tray, of course, is in the middle here, which you can use, just standard LiPo, 2S, 3S. This is 3S capable as well. And of course, you have, you can also use a nickel metal, like a 7-cell nickel metal if you want to. There is provisions here for, I suppose, either adding some additional weight, or you can even switch to a smaller size battery to run on top there. That's entirely up to you. There are also provisions for you to put a working winch on this particular RC, so really nice to that they obviously continue to use that. You got your little side steps on there already pre-mounted, and everything else, as I said, is very much familiar to the existing TRX4. The bumpers are obviously a little bit different to complement the car, and they've changed the wheel wells for this, kind of quick release body that they've got now that doesn't have the body pins or anything like that. So it really adds to the scale look, not having these body posts sticking out of the body. I think that's a huge positive. That alone, I think, is worth the price of admission almost for something like this. And the fact that they're not just held on together with magnets or Velcro, it's an actual design of a clip system, which I think is fantastic. But unlike what they do on the X-Max and the Rustler 4x4s, or even the Max, where there's a clip on the outside of the body that you do, those cars aren't really designed for scale. So it's more for just a quick access to be able to take the body on and off. It wouldn't make sense to do that here, because obviously you'd have this big cutout on the body and it would take away from that scale realism. So I think they've done a really good job the way that they've hidden all of this. Really, really nice to see that. Wheels and tires. The wheels are a nice kind of gloss black, something that I don't think I've seen before with some of these TRX4s. Normally they're like a matte black. I think they've done some chrome ones in the past, but a really nice wheel on these. Tires are, tried and true TRX4 tires. I don't think they've changed anything on that. The shocks are, of course, aluminium bodied, and they are threaded bodied as well. So you can adjust those for, to kind of set up your suspension the way that you like. Suspension on these cars is actually really nice right out of the box. I mean, of course you can tweak it, and I think there's even a lift kit if you want to raise them up and run some bigger wheels and tires on here, you can do that as well. But out of the box, if you just want to take it out, plug a battery in and go out and have some fun, hit the trails, go for a walk with these things, they're fantastic. The way that they're set up is actually really, really nice. So that's the TRX4 Ford Bronco. These are available in this, I think they call it a cyber orange, and there's a rapid red. Now, of course, red goes faster, so most people will probably pick the red one. As you can see, the body just pushes on and just clips in, and that's it. I can now lift the car pretty much via the body, and it's not going to fall out. So it's a really nice, very simple design. Good on them. I think they've done a fantastic job with this particular vehicle. And that wraps up this video of the Traxxas Ford Bronco. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, check out the video description. We'll have links in there to these cars, as well as any accessories that you may need as well, such as batteries and chargers, because of course they are not included with the vehicle. Thank you again for watching, and I'll be speaking to you all next time. One of the best features of this is simply being able to do this, and that's it, the body's on. So good.